Hey everyone, back again with another video, and I'm sure many of you have seen what's going on with the Yugioh ban list so far, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about the most recent ban list that just dropped, along with some of the implications that the ban list might bring to Yugioh in terms of the meta. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So first up on the ban list is Block Dragon, which Block Dragon enabled +5 advantages for Adamanticators, since it allowed you to banish 3 rock monsters from your hand or graveyard, which in turn allowed you to take advantage of monsters' banish effects, and it allowed you to extend into other advantage generating combos, which allows you to plus off of previous pluses, which is why it's banned. And the same can be said for its recycle effect, which allows you to add 3 rock monsters from your deck to your hand whose levels equal 8. That's if Block Dragon is sent from the field to the graveyard. That's the way you activate it, and that's only once per turn. So Block Dragon basically does for Adamanticators what Brilliant Fusion did for Zombie Swarms, which it enables multiple pluses within pluses, and that's basically the reason why it enables so much advantage and too much advantage in form of the pluses. That's why it got banned. However, Adamanticators are still very playable, but they will not have Block Dragon to generate unfair pluses, and it will not be a means of recovery for them after being board wiped or something to that effect. But now that Block Dragon is banned, Adamanticators have gone from being unfair to being a strong meta deck, which I think is a good example of making a deck fair and balanced. And next on the ban list, or the forbidden list specifically, is Jet Syncron, which allowed for an instant Halqifibrax play, since it's a level 1 tuner monster that can be used to make Relinquished Anima, or a Linkuriboh, to which you can then use Jet Synchron's effect to revive itself from the grave, and use it to satisfy for the summoning conditions for a Halqifibrax. It was primarily banned because it could summon Halqifibrax on its own with relatively minimal costs attached to it, and it could also be potentially used for synchro plays instead. And I see why Jet Syncron was banned, since it was basically the best for bringing out Crystron Halqifibrax, but I feel like Konami missed the mark, since there are so many Jet Syncron substitutes and things like Link Cross, which can create potential alternate avenues for more efficient Halqifibrax plays, which basically means that Halqifibrax is still a problem, and it just takes a few more, I guess, relatively easy steps to achieve the same end goal. And for the last of the forbidden cards, we have Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion, which was not initially on my radar for the ban list, but it does make perfect sense for it to be banned, since it enables a follow-up Halqifibrax play, since you can special summon O-Lion from Halqifibrax's special effect, and once you trigger O-Lion's effect off of its special summon, you can in turn special summon a token, which in turn allows you to set up for a potential synchro summon. However, the more popular route is it allows you to have resources for a readily available Link Force summon. Being that they didn't ban Halqifibrax, I think it was a smart hit so that Halqifibrax summons could be hindered in the sense of it generating too many pluses or potentially generating exponential pluses, which are basically pluses within pluses. And now we move on to the limited list, which the first card we have is Double Iris Magician, which was previously forbidden but is now limited to 1 copy, which I think it's fair since Pendulum Magicians are well past their prime in terms of power creep. And that and Double Iris Magician's search effect is slow, which you can only search Pendulum Graph upon its destruction. However, it's a great addition to the Pendulum strategy since it allows you to set up a scale 8 Pendulum summon, and it's also easy to summon out, which then allows you to take advantage of its monster effect, where it's treated as a pendulum dragon, which gives you the option to use it for an odd eye strategy. And furthermore, Double Iris Magician is much more balanced now, since you can only pendulum summon to zones where link monsters point to because of the new Master Rule 5 rulings. Overall, it's a welcome unban, and it will probably lead to some interesting plays for a hopefully interesting format. Another card on the limited list is Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardic, which was previously banned but is now limited. So this makes Orcists more competitive, since Rusty Bardic allows the player to destroy one card on the field if a Dark XYZ monster is summoned to a zone this card points to. So Orcists can take advantage of summoning Dengirsu, which is a Dark XYZ monster, to a zone that Rusty Bardic points to, which allows you to gain a destruction effect, and it also allows you to take advantage of Dengirsu's effect to send something to the graveyard. Furthermore, this allows Phantom Knights to become an engine, since it allows you to send a Phantom Knights monster from the deck to the grave, which allows you to take advantage of graveyard effects. And on the plus side, you can also set one Speller Trap from your deck to the Speller Trap card zone, which allows you to have more recoverability and defensive measures. And this is all caused by Rusty Bardic in general, so this is a great card to have off the ban list, and really does wonders for Orcists. So the next limited card is Called by the Grave, and shock and all, I guess the intent behind this hit is to limit combo decks from being able to stop hand traps, which prevent their combos from kicking off. So this is an attempt to prevent combo decks from being too overpowered. However, combo decks still have an easy enough time playing through hand traps, and limiting Called by the Grave makes hand traps more oppressive, since it's our best defense against hand traps, which contributes to the overall overbearing negation game, which lessens player interaction. And just as surprising as Called by the Grave, Harpy's Feather Duster also went to one copy and is on this list, which I think the intent behind the limit is to suppress back row decks, which further gears this format towards a back row destruction heavily oriented format, since we also have Lightning Storm to level back row, which is concerning since it gives us less ways to combat combo decks or OTK decks, since back row provides defense and ways to counter combo oriented plays. And now we move on to the semi-limited list. And the first card on that list is Seer, Malebranche of the Burning Abyss. So this allows Burning Abyss to have a little more summon power, since Seer was previously limited for its ability to special summon itself from the hand and summon another BA monster from the graveyard when sent to the graveyard. And Burning Abyss is further getting a boost because they also get Graph of the Burning Abyss, because it's now back at 2 copies, which increases its summon power since you can special summon it from your hand, and it also allows you to special summon one Burning Abyss from your deck, which sets up even more combos. And just like Burning Abyss, another card that's getting a boost by this list is ABCs, since ABCs is now getting ABC Dragon Buster to 2 copies, and their combos are going to become a little more synchronized because of it, since ABCs will now be able to bring 3 of their banished light monsters because of this extra copy of ABC Dragon Buster that's available. And for the last of the semi-limits, we now have Totally Awesome back at 2 copies, which allows Paleo Frogs to regain some traction that they had from last year, to which Totally Awesome adds more of a control negation game to the whole format in general. So this might be a little more, I guess, of a tug and pull between OTKs and negation control strategies in this overall format, based on this, I guess, new addition to the ban list. And finally, we get to the unlimited list. And the first of the great unlimited cards is Pantheism of the Monarchs, which is one I'm personally excited for. So this adds more consistency to Monarchs, since it's a pot of greed for the deck in general, which also allows you to get a Monarch spell or trap into the graveyard as a cost for the draw 2 effect, which in turns kicks off more Monarch strategies, since some Monarch spells and traps gain their graveyard effects while in the grave, since you have to banish them. And it also unifies the deck by allowing you to search for more Monarch cards, which actually gives Monarchs a competitive edge. And just like Monarchs, the next card is Sky Striker Widow Anchor, which may give Sky Strikers some ability to experiment and hopefully re-enter the meta, since they effectively have their own version of mind control, which interrupts your opponent effectively on their turn too. So that's great for Sky Strikers in general. And furthermore, BAs take the ban list by storm, since Tour Guide is now back at 3 copies, which allows them to get into their XYZ plays a lot more effectively. And this is just a great card in general for Fiends, just in the total grand scheme of things. And just to end the overall unlimited list, the last 2 cards we have is Evigishki Gustakraken and Makiora the Destructor are back at 3 copies. And Makiora the Destructor was forbidden at one point, and it was previously forbidden, but is now off the ban list because of its errata. Though I don't want to get too much into detail with these 2 cards because I feel like they won't have as much of an impact, but I wanted to mention them just because they're on the list in general. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts for this previous ban list. And I really wanted to make this video because I wanted to go over in detail about the specific picks that Konami chose for the ban list. And I wanted to go into more detail for their justifications, or why I think their reasons are for the specific cards they picked on the ban list. And I thought it would be interesting in general just to see why they put this one on the ban list and why they took this one card off the ban list. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts. And if you would like to support more content like this in general, you can do so at my Necromancer1040 Patreon link down below. I normally post it in the link down below in the description, and you can check it out if you want to. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Alright, take care.